Hey, good evening. I'm really happy to have you here. My name is Daniel. I was a professional opera singer and beatboxer, and tonight we're going to be listening to VoicePlay's Classical Chaos. So I recognize the characters on the thumbnail, which are the same characters from their rendition of Hall of the Mountain King. And it's also featuring Rachel Potter, and I heard her in the Little Mermaid medley, and I'm not sure if I already posted it yet, but the Moana medley, and if I haven't yet, then it's going to be posted soon. But I am really excited to jump into this one. I really just love the arrangements that VoicePlay has done. I have no idea what to expect from this kind of piece. Classical Chaos to me could simply reflect a ton of classical pieces, maybe presented in the style of a fugue, where the same running line is just presented at different times. Or it could be just a complete chaotic medley, or it could just be this really terrifying brew of a bunch of classical pieces mashed together. Or yeah, I really have no idea what to expect from this. But I'm really excited to jump into this, and I hope you guys are as well. So without any further delay, let's just jump into it.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Oh, she looks amazing. They all do. Woo! Ooh, into Carmen. Okay. Yeah.
La 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 la.
I love this. Oh, that was amazing. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah, dude.
Da-dun.
Yeah?
Did you know we're selling merchandise?
Really?
Yeah, all you have to do is go to the store.
Haetakole
Huh? What's that mean?
means good.
That was great. That was so great. Oh my gosh. So many different pieces that were very well incorporated together. They added their own spin to it, like outside of just the characters and the voices, which already were fun in and of themselves, and the way that they concatenated all of them together into this really just whimsical medley. There were just really interesting lines. Man, it was just, oh dude, it was, I had such a great time with that, if you couldn't tell. That was so much fun. Let's just jump into the analysis so I can enjoy this again.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Just that slide down into that beautiful sultry note. Amazing. Rachel looks incredible. All of them do. Like, I already mentioned this before, but we haven't seen Rachel in The Hall of the Mountain King. So it's nice to see her costuming. Yeah, this just unison here is really, really well done. I love it. It's such a minor little detail, but that texture from Lane there, just these really staccato, really light sounds to play off of, it just subtly adds so much momentum and that carries the rest of this introduction piece, and it's so great. Her trill there, da 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 da. She's so fluid and it's smooth and it's just so quick, and to have that level of vocal control and lightness without sinking into the pitch and making it flat, even by quarter tones, or pushing it too fast, making it sharp. She's just so light and consistent with it. Really well done. Yeah. I love how she just opens up to that open up. Yeah, just really, really lovely stuff here. Oh yeah, and just that slide into this next piece from Carmen. And I thought it was just going to be classical orchestral pieces, but no, this is straight from Bizet's opera, Carmen. And I've mentioned Carmen on the channel before in 2 or 3 different videos, I believe, where it's just such an incredible opera. Heavily recommend it. Very difficult to perform though. And something I really love about this too is, for those that don't know the story of Carmen, Carmen is a gypsy woman, and she is always going around to new places, engaging in new experiences with her small ragtag team, but she's also a seductress, I suppose. She attracts so many people, but the only people she's interested in pursuing are the people that she finds to be unattainable, or the people that don't give her a second glance. And for those people, those are the people that she targets and goes after and tries to seduce. And that's essentially what most of the opera is about. And she ends up seducing Don Jose, or this really just righteous and noble, honorable man. And he ends up getting seduced by her. He ends up following her. And when he does end up following her, she loses interest in him because she attained him. And she doesn't recognize any of his appeal anymore because this was just more or less a game for her. And when she then encounters the bullfighter Escamillo, who's a very proud man, I feel you can compare his grandiosity to that of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. But that being said, just not as like villainous. But that being said, it's correlating that back to this, just having Caesar's character with his just complete red makeup, red signifying passion, love. If you want to take it on a more metaphysical level or spiritual level, the root chakra, and more or less signifying your connection to the earth, materialistic things, intense desire, lust, passion. So the fact that Caesar is the leading vocal line in his red, I find to be very fitting for that. And him just going with Rachel's character, who does seem to be the real leader, the real seductress in this case. I think this is a really cool touch. I love just this very gentle grit they're putting into their voices. Da 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 da. It's just so much fun. Very clean cutoffs. I love that. Such a lovely vibrato. Just approached that note so delicately, allowed it to expand and touched back down. Really well executed. Yeah. Oh, such a great transition here.
La 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 la.
The beatboxing here is incredible. I can't even replicate it because it's so intricate and precise. What a brilliant retard here. It just had so much momentum thanks to Lane here and the rest of them, but they just generated what felt like a sprint in a vocal line and just slowed it down so much, but didn't feel like it stopped on a dime. It felt like a very smooth yet very powerful deceleration, and that was just a great retard. I just love that the fire is changing with the leading character line. Yeah. So, just the fact that he's holding the book and how pissed Rachel looks right now is just hysterical to me. Give me the book. No. Oh, I love that. Doo-doo-wee. Oh, it's so much fun. Something I really like about that fire effect too is that it just shot up green at the top, very similar to that carrot that you guys told me about in the Hall of the Mountain King, and how Lane just loves tormenting the group with carrots, and his whole aesthetic is carrot themed, and this is just so whimsical and playful. I love this. You know, it's not often, but it has happened in the professional beatboxing scenes that is utilized in actual beatbox routines. I absolutely love that sound. I think it is so simple and so whimsical and so playful, and it's just so much fun just to watch and hear, and there's just so much character that goes into it. So whenever anybody utilizes that sound in anything, I'm all for it. The fact that it didn't lose a beat. I was conducting it in 4 and it stayed in 4 all the way into la da 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 da. Yeah, they're just doing such a great job not losing any of the tempo regardless of the piece they're transitioning to. And I remember in university for my final musicianship class, our finals were essentially, we each go in one at a time and see our professor there, and he gives us a sight reading piece, and we have to sing that sight reading piece on solfege, which is do, di, re, re, mi, fa, fi, so, si, la, li, ti, do, ti, te, la, le, so, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. And we have to sing the piece on solfege in the right key at the right meter. And in the piece is a key change that isn't notated by a key signature, and then typically you'll recognize the key change just based off of where some naturals are in terms of the original key, or in terms of where specific sharps and flats are, in order to say that we are in fact in a new key. And then you would have to shift your solfege, because in this final you don't focus on a fixed do or a fixed one chord. The one chord is constantly moving with the rest of the key. So to be able to just seamlessly go into a new key, starting on a new do, a new one chord, and do that in the same tempo of the previous piece, and just easily slide that in. Like, obviously they're being very whimsical, very charming, a little maniacal, and I love that, a little playful. And it's just really fascinating to see the fact that in all of this whimsy is real musicianship, is real complex musical ideas, and very difficult to perform vocally. It is tough being able to transition into new keys so seamlessly in the same tempo as the previous thing. And dude, they're doing such a great job with this, especially while maintaining this level of whimsy and character. To be able to execute music this complex is what I love the most about this, because they are executing really challenging vocal lines, but in a way that is so playful that you don't even recognize it being challenging, because they're having so much fun with it. They're making it look so effortless, even though this is very, very difficult stuff to pull off. So really, just kudos for them. Yeah. And this snare Lane has. Yeah, dude, it's just so heavy hitting. And this is something I noticed in the original run-through of it, is they're taking each other's voices, which I think is really great, because if I understand it correctly, Caesar is the baritone, so which is why he's able to have Rachel's higher notes alongside Jeff's lower notes, which is really well done. His range is so expansive in this piece, I love it. And these harmonies are incredible. That's just the fact that we're getting so much of his range here is incredible, dude. I didn't know we were going to do film scores, but you know, to each their own. But yeah, you know, I dig it. I dig it anyway. This is so great! Oh, I love that open space she had. So instead of everybody's like really directed, just having that contrast is really fun. I love all of these fireworks in the can here. It's so great. That right there is what I was mentioning earlier. La da 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 da. In the can, it's just da 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 da. Just in the original can, it's like we all know it. We all know the melody, and we know that it's not in a minor key or whatever mode they're singing it in. And by mode, I mean Dorian, Ionian, Locrian, Mixolydian, etc. But another way of thinking about modes would be like major and minor modes, which have their own names in the complex modes I was just mentioning. But that being said, unimportant. It's just the fact that they're just ever so slightly tweaking these natural lines in the pieces instead of just only seamlessly putting them together and having fun with it. They're actually tweaking the music in and of itself to add more spice, more flair, more just whimsical depth to this piece that they've really constructed for their own sake. It's not just taking these pieces and seamlessly weaving them together. It's adding their spin on it. Aside from the character and the whimsy, which is honestly, I think, already enough. But just the fact that they're still playing around with the actual music in and of itself makes me really happy. I love the fact that she's going between these really legato, really smooth wave-like lines, and then really staccato sounds like da, da. Let's listen to that again. Yeah. Lane is so histrionic, but I love it anyway. Oh, that bass growl. I don't know how anybody can say classical music is boring. Classical music is some of the most intense, most incredible music ever written. It can be really light and delicate and smooth and lovely, but man, there's just so much intensity in so many of the pieces too. These graphics! Oh my gosh, we're listening to that again. Okay, so there was some audio engineering on her voice there, but overall, the actual vocal line was still done by her own self, which I really love. It wasn't specifically auto-tuned, but it was audio edited to have this really fun vocal effect added to it, which I think is really cool. Yeah, and Lane's beatboxing here. He's actually utilized this particular beat in a few of the arrangements, but it's still just so clean and so good. I want to see. Very important. Do not lose. Bad things will happen. And they lost the last page, and that is hysterical to me. And then... I love that they're all panicking and Rachel's like, nah, I'm in control. Oh, and Lane's just his progression. Oh, dude, let's listen to that again. Ah! Oh, their faces. Jeff is just curious. Caesar's terrified. I have no idea what Ellie's feeling. Probably just transfixed in the moment, and Lane being just himself.
Dun-dun.
I got chills, man. That was so great. Man, dude, I love that so much. That was so much fun. What more can I say? They did a really fantastic job compiling all those pieces together. They did a really fantastic job executing it in the style of their characters and playing with these effects, not just the visual effects, but the audio effects. But all of it was still their own voices, and they really well executed several complex musical themes and ideas and added their own spin, their own character, their own twists to the music in and of itself. Yeah, they really did such a phenomenal job with this piece and performed it really well as well. So honestly, VoicePlay, yeah, love that. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you guys liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you didn't like it, please leave a dislike and let me know why in the comments below. I do read all of the comments, even if I may not heart or reply to all of them, so please just know that your comments do not go unnoticed, and I do take them into further consideration as I make future videos. My live streams are currently Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so if you guys would like to stop by, say hey, ask me any questions or anything like that, I will be there for you guys. My Patreon is still under development, and I'm still making a lot of content for it. When it does come out in the next few weeks, I'm sure it'll be worth it. Again, I can't appreciate you guys enough for being here. It really does mean a lot to me, and I can't wait to see all of you in the next video. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.